Hello, this is Brother Sherman Cox, soulpreaching.com. I want to thank you for looking at this video and go and visit my website, soulpreaching.com. Download the free ebook, 7 Steps to an Effective Sermon. I wanted to talk briefly today about the three important components of a successful sermon. Number one is to have a question, issue, our subject that you're going to address in the sermon, and this is really not in any kind of particular order, but have a issue, subject, or something that you're going to be addressing in this sermon, a large question, something that your people are dealing with, something that is important to your people. Keep in mind when you're framing this particular question that we are talking about folk coming to your church. There's some folk are sick. They just found out that they had a cancer diagnosis. Somebody just come to your church. They just found out that they are about to have a baby and they're wondering about finances. There's some folk who just got a new job, and there's good things, bad things, but there's real issues that your people are dealing with. So I want you to, first of all, think about those particular subjects and those particular issues. Have a solid question that you're dealing with. Secondly, you got to have a text. One thing that you need to do is you need to have a text that you're going to interact with, that you're going to seek to exegete, that you're going to seek to understand. And you got a text, you got a question. The third thing is to present and preach good news derived from that text that addresses the question that we are particularly dealing with. This is important. Good news. Too often people are only emphasizing and spending a lot of time on bad news. Bad stuff's happening, and for some reason, some preachers think that bad news is what they need to be preaching. You ain't doing this and you ain't doing the other. And then they leave them there. But as I said before, people are coming to your church. They're sick, they're hurting, they're struggling, they're trying to deal with things, and they come here and all they hear is you ain't doing this, you ain't doing the other, and you ain't doing the other. Now, before you come and say, hey, Brother Sherman, what you're telling me is that I shouldn't ever tell people, I shouldn't critique people, I shouldn't encourage people to live better lives. I should just give them some sort of a quote cotton candy kind of gospel where it's only good things but no bad things. And I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm not saying that we never address or critique. I'm just saying that when you critique, that you definitely have good news in it. You're critiquing from the area of good news. You're encouraging people to live a better life. You're not just telling people they ain't right. You're telling people how it is to get right, what it is to get right, those steps forward into that particular mode, and that you've got somebody who's helping you to make it through anything you got to go through. I mean, a good example of this is the true witness, Jesus Christ, in Revelation, when he's talking to the Laodiceans, and he tells them, hey, I got somewhat against you. You're lukewarm. You're not who you ought to be. You're not what you need to be. But then he tells them what to do with that. He doesn't just leave them there in that particular situation. He tells them, hey, I encourage you to buy of me gold tried in the fire. I encourage you to go on to the next step. I encourage you to follow me into this better living. I encourage you to do these particular things. That's good news. That's good news. You are lukewarm, but you don't have to stay lukewarm. That's good news. Good news is kind of even dependent upon that particular angle in some sense. The quote bad news, the good news supersedes the bad news. But if I can't see the bad news, then it's then it's an issue or a problem. But going back to our main point, you must have an issue, a main issue you're dealing with. 2, you must have a text. Don't go up in no sermon without no text. And 3, you must have good news derived from that text that addresses that particular issue. Again, this is Brother Sherman Cox, soulpreaching.com. Visit me at soulpreaching.com to get the 7 steps to effective sermon. God bless you. Keep on preaching.